Hey, Mr. King here. Hey, Mr. King, check this out. We have a assignment where we're going to make a nameplate, and there's a variety of ways that you can actually make the nameplate, and a variety of ways you can make it look. So, like if I glanced over here really quick, like at this spot, um, actually this spot, you see you can make some nameplates in a variety of different ways. Like there's this one that kind of leans backwards, like this at any varying angle, and then there's also like this one that kind of stands upright. And then there's also like, say, this one right over here that kind of has more vertical presence to it, and it would stand on a shelf or something. Like there's a variety of reasons why maybe a nameplate is kind of a cool design to actually 3D print. So we're getting in that zone of being creative, coming up with our own designs, and really thinking about what will print and what won't print. If I look at this one right here, you notice that I set it at 4 millimeters. You really don't want anything vertical to stand out more than 4 millimeters because it will have a hard time printing in midair. And you don't really want to put supports on more than you have to. So we're trying to minimize being able to turn on needing supports. So even like changing this to even like say 3, if it does that, it's going to print better if it's got a smaller number. You can't have it sticking out really, really far, like 10 millimeters. It won't do that. It will, if it tries to print in midair, it just won't do that very well. So let's go ahead and go pick a Tinkercad. If you're in your Tinkercad design area, click Create over here and find a new 3D design by clicking Create. And then you're going to bounce over here and, there's a variety of ways you can load those in, right? Like this one, and you change the size. What you do want to do is grab a ruler, and you want to be able to size it to a real life measurement. Like how thick would that be? This would be 22 millimeters, which is 2.2 centimeters. This is 14.6 centimeters. So get a ruler and like say, okay, is that actually, it always looks bigger on the screen than it is in real life. And then you take some text, which is this one right here, and you just drop it on there like that. Click on this spot right here to delete the word text and put your own name, or if it's a gift for somebody else, then Mr. King. Oh my goodness, not typing right now. King, sweet. All right. So then what we also want to do is we want to make sure that the text is connected. So like, for example, if I click off of it and you're like, oh, I'm going to move that around a little bit. You're like, oh, if you move it around, go look in here. Ooh, if we see any gap, that's not going to 3D print at all, right? And they're not connected. So what we want to do, you see this blue line on the edge right there on the back edge? Let's make that blue line go away, right? How do we do that? By pushing it into the material. You notice how when the blue line just barely goes away, then it's definitely connected. But we also want to kind of push it in a little bit further to, we only want it sticking out about, a millimeter, 2 or 3 in order for it to actually print successfully, right? Then in order to meet the requirements of this particular right down here, it says, try to make it up where, this size, try to make it a little bit bigger so that it like actually sits on a table or a desk or you can, for this one, it says up here, you can actually make an original nameplate or keychain. If you would rather make a keychain, go for it. You can also, instead of the text sticking out of the material like that, you can actually take it and turn it into a hole. And then when we group it, I like to select all like that and then group it up. What does it do, right? It actually engraves into the material. That's kind of cool too, right? So that is, it's actually popping through. If you don't want that, then move it out a little bit further, right? And so you could have a kind of a cool design where it pops all the way through. That's kind of interesting. So there's a variety of different ways, right? So we can definitely have it more like this. But if you're going to print it like this one right here, this with it sticking more upright, you're going to need to use capital letters only for that one. And just double check, make sure that it's all the way pushed down so it's connected really well. And try to drag in, I use mountains and trees, but try to drag in something that makes your design awesome, right? So if you leave it like this, and it's like, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. If you leave it like this is kind of a bland nameplate, right? We want to bedazzle it up a little bit. We want to make it more awesome. And so if you're back on here, it says, try to try to bring in your own personality or interests or hobbies. And one way to do that is to actually go to this where it says basic shapes. You can search this whole library of different things they have, but do they have everything? No, they don't, right? So you can kind of click around in there a little bit and say, okay, what do they have? More shapes. You can click more and try to get different things in there. I don't know. I'm going to bring this one in. All right, maybe that's my thing. Drop it on the work plane. Drop it out into empty space, and then hold down Shift to make it proportionally smaller. Proportional means that it's the width and height are changing together proportionally. And so like you could do something like that. But remember that one of our rules for 3D printing is that everything is connected. If this thing is sitting over here, is that going to print into the material? No, not really. And this one, I've printed this helmet before, and it kind of has a tricky job printing this bottom layer right there. But, maybe you don't want to print this one, but we still need to bedazzle it up a little bit so that it meets the requirements of the nameplate. We don't want a boring nameplate. Make it awesome. All right. If you want to take this one and round the edges a little bit too, like you can take, so for example, like how did I get, one last thing that we'll do here, basic shapes. And then this one, you're like, how did I actually get that one piece that had like rounded corners on it? I made it about this big, right? Kind of like that. We want the thickness of walls and stuff to be about 8 so that it's structurally like solid enough. But then I clicked on radius. Watch what it does. It kind of rounds the corners, and then you can increase the steps to make it more smooth. But that kind of rounds the edges and the corners, right? Then what I did is I held down Alt and I pulled a copy off like this. And then I take that copy and I rotate it up, kind of like any angle that you want, as long as it's not lower than like a 45-degree angle. Remember our 45. So then one way to get it so that it's flat is to pull out a work plane tool, and I'm going to put it right on top of this surface right there. Okay, so then I click on this object that I'm trying to move, and I press D on the keyboard. D means drop. Drop it to the current work plane is what that means. All right, so then I move it over like this, and maybe I actually want to bring it down a little bit so it's a little more connected, right? So we could actually pull the work plane back out. So maybe I didn't need to do that for this particular one, but I click D for drop, and then I know that it's flat on the work plane, and then I can kind of merge these together, make sure they're touching, right? So that's like one way to get another sort of like table topper kind of nameplate thing going, right? And then you pull out your text and you put it on that surface, and then you change it and customize it. All right, this is awesome. You guys are so awesome and doing a great job. Keep up the hard work. Thanks.